So let's begin with Schubert's own words to his friend Leopold Kupelwieser in 1824, so that we can get a glimpse of what kind of sorrow that he felt, in his life. So this is Schubert's own words to Kupelwieser, his friend. In a word, I feel myself to be the most unhappy and wretched creature in the world. Imagine a man whose health will never be right again, to whom the felicity of love and friendship has nothing to offer but pain. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, I shall find it never and nevermore. I may well sing every day now, for each night on retiring to bed, I hope I may not wake again. So this is a very deep and sad feeling of Schubert, especially this is written in 1824, just 4 years before his passing. So the following is the overview about his life, so we can again imagine, how lonely, how intimate Schubert's music is. So number one, short life. We know he only lived for 31 years old, yet he expressed such full artistic maturity during those 31 years. Like Dr. Han just said, about 600 songs in that span. Amazing. Number two, undervalued. Schubert was little known in his lifetime, and it took several years following his death just for his works to be acknowledged. And for that, Liszt lamented as follows: "From your soul's depths and heights, pour forth melody, freshness, power, grace, reverie, passion, soothing, tears, and flowers. And such is the enchantment of your world of emotions that we almost forget the greatness of your craftsmanship." Jadi ini menunjukkan bahwa Schubert somehow was undervalued, karena again we already heard from Pak Johannes earlier bahwa kan Beethoven was the megastar, was the celebrity, and almost no room basically for many composers setelah Beethoven, who would dare to write music after Beethoven. And then number three, unfavorable public recognition and financial condition. We also learn from the history that Schubert only did one public recital during his life. And he was perhaps the first composer in Western music history to have written music without any patrons. Beethoven was also known that to write music without any patrons, but however, he still had many friends, who supported him financially, unlike Schubert. Number four, Schubert was the composer to live by his art alone. I quote from great pianist Andras Schiff. Schubert always tried to find peace, friendship, and love. However, he never really found it, but in music. So this sentence by Schiff give us also a better idea about Schubert feeling in general. And fun fact, no piano for most of his lifetime. Most of the works were done on the table. So this is crazy, I think, to write those 600 songs plus I don't know, about 400 to 500 instrumental pieces. So it's total about 1,000 something total work of Schubert. Basically, now I want to talk about this unfinished sonata in F sharp minor, which I think this is a perfect example to describe his sorrowful feeling. We can see from this texture, it is bare in texture and melody, landscape of sadness, introspection, intimacy, tenderness, and desolation. And another fun fact, this is the only sonata to begin with a lead-like opening. We start with the piano prelude, just typical like a Schubert song. So let's listen to this unfinished sonata. This is just a general description about Schubert's feeling. Yes, and as explained by Dr. Hunt, so lyrical, and the melody just sticks into your head. Yeah, so easy to sing, but so difficult to play. Yeah, this kind of melody. Um, Here are the five elements for me when you really want to work on singing Schubert on piano. uh, I always consider these five elements. Yeah, so maybe this sharing will be helpful uh, for all of us to work on Schubert's music. Number one, high sensitivity with singing tone production. Schubert designed and treated piano as intimate expression. So it's not like Beethoven, who basically designed and treated piano as orchestral sound, for example. But piano for Schubert is for intimate expression. Number two, unmatched lyricism. Schubert is really the most original melodist and the greatest songwriter for me. And this element is combined, and again, Dr. Han already said about some harmonic progression, which is very unique during his lifetime. This lyricism is combined with bold harmonic invention, natural spontaneity, intimate writing, and sense of isolation. And number three, utmost simplicity, with moments of deep mysticism. A life, again, devoted solely to art. And if I may quote again from Andras Schiff, his music is never crowded. It never overwhelms you. It is a simple story. It invites you by very simple means. Number four, many facets of musical personality. Yeah, just like the Erking, in which the singer must somehow change into four different characters. So also in piano music, I think we need to have an innate capacity to switch rapidly among various emotional spectrum, from the most charming to the darkest soul, from the most beautiful to the most depressed, and from the simplest to the most dramatic. And number five, consider about singing Schubert on piano, is that Schubert always had the feeling of profound grief. Yeah, again, the last song that Dr. Hunt mentioned, I think is again it's really worth to listen to. Schiff said that Schubert was always occupied with death, longing to die. When he felt desperate, the musical activity and intensity increased greatly. Yeah, so this is the five things to consider for singing Schubert on piano. And before I give you several examples about describing my points, this is just my practical suggestions on how to sing Schubert on piano. Number one, I always practice simplicity. Deduce into the simplest version how to produce the note, then give expression, decide how you want to articulate the emotions. Number two, practice a beautiful uninterrupted melodic line. Yeah, I think this is one of the most challenging things being a pianist, because piano naturally is vertical, is percussive nature. Yeah, I think no instrument to be played like piano. Yeah, so you just press the key down vertical and then it sounds. Yeah, other than that, any other instruments cannot sound like that. Yeah, it has to breathe. Yeah. So practice a beautiful uninterrupted melodic line by emulating the natural shape and declamation of a singer, and always strive for good phrasing up to the point of achieving such coherence. Ya, so the phrasing kayak kita ngomong ya, kayak kita berkomunikasi, kan kita nggak mungkin ngomong tiba-tiba berhenti di tengah-tengah, halo nama saya, kan nggak mungkin begitu ngomongnya ya. So make a coherent, cohesive phrasing. Number three, I always keep my fingers fairly close to the keyboard and move my fingers along with proper arm weight. Especially in Schubert, no force should be emphasized. And then number four, develop an awareness of the effectiveness of touch and timing. Yeah, because Pak Johannes already mentioned about the meaning of little time when accompany a singer. Yeah, so we really have to develop an awareness of the effectiveness of touch and timing, along with the rhythmic resilience to let go and to pull back. The sense of timing a phrase and the subtlety of rubato is lifelong development. It's very difficult. And number five, since Schubert was really bold, yeah, in writing new harmony at that time. So we also, I think we can also explore new pedaling in his music, yeah, especially legato pedaling, which gives an overlapping sound of the two harmonies for a moment, and no other instrument in the orchestra can do that, right? So only piano can actually do that kind of overlapping harmonic, two harmonic sounds together. So next, I want to talk about the first example, yeah, of sonata in A minor D845, written in 1825. One of the uh, one of the things that people always talk about Schubert's music adalah Schubert actually write as he wish, and he's not really strong in constructing a music, ya, karena misalnya kayak sonata-sonata yang apalagi yang akhir is very long, ya. Schumann called those three late sonatas as heavenly length music, ya. Uh, ini sonata 845 ini actually describes Schubert, who is really perfect, just like Beethoven. I mean, he really shows the unity of themes. Yeah, we can actually see from the first line, the third bar. That's basically the rhythmic motif. Yeah, from the second bar to the third bar, from the pickup, ta 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 ta. So that's actually the rhythmic motif, and amazingly, this sonata is basically having two contrasting characters, but operating within one rhythmic motif. Sounds more like a Beethoven now, right? Yeah. So the character of this sonata is basically sadness. At the same time, there's a feeling of rage, but again, joyful, and then somehow nostalgic, and then dreamy. You see, so many different characters, so many various characters, so many emotional spectrum just basically thrown into one music. Yeah, that's why we have to be able to switch fast among all these characters. So let's listen to this sonata D845, and actually this is the first sonata to be published during his life. The sadness. Somehow rage. And then somehow joyful here. Marching. And now maybe nostalgic feeling. Dreamy. And then suddenly everything is just gone, disappear. Come back to the sadness beginning. That's the example of 845, again with so many different emotional spectrum. And then another example is sonata favorite Pak Johannes. So I have to play a little bit. Yeah, this is the Robert Schumann considered this sonata as the most perfect work in both form and conception. Tobias Haslinger, a publisher, he gave the first movement the title Fantasy. That's why suka disebut sebagai sonata fantasy. And then, like Dr. Han said, basically much of his music from the last 2 years of his life is melancholic and full of thoughts of death. So tadi 845 isinya mungkin sadness, rage, mungkin some kind of hopeless, mungkin ada, tetapi at the same time ada joyful, at the same time ada nostalgic. Now yang sonata 894 ini charactersnya in general floating, ethereal, luminous, tranquil, mysterious serenity, intimacy, purity. Again, it looks fine on the score, but seriously, this is one of the most difficult things to to even get the sound right. Yeah. So let's listen to this example with again so many different emotional spectrum and how to sing those. To have the consistent voicing is nightmare. And now it becomes waltz, Viennese waltz-like music. Now very Schubert dance music. Again, very beautiful music. So many different emotional spectrum in here. And the last example is the last sonata, D960. When Dr. Han talked about doppelganger, actually it was one of the songs from the song cycles Wagner-Gesang. And then this sonata, D960, is just taken from one song before that doppelganger. It's called Am Meer, yeah, by the sea. So beautiful music, and I encourage you to listen to the voice. Again, beautiful emotional harmonic richness, ambivalence, nostalgic, sublime. Again, looks fine, looks pretty easy to sight read, but the sound is so profound. Yeah, it's very difficult to actually create the whole atmosphere about Schubert's music. So this is the last example before I give the conclusion. Very song-like lead. The mysterious trills. we can see the harmonic boldness modulates to G flat major from B flat major. Again, song-like, simple melody. And then from B flat going to F sharp minor, another crazy bold harmonic language. Suddenly become mysterious. Yeah, so that's basically again, yeah, singing super simple music, but a lot of emotion range, yeah, and so conclusion about my topic today. Uh, 2 points. Number one, Schubert's music is simple, natural, unaffected, sincere, and lyrical. Number two, his music always expresses glorious melody, which is rich in character, while displaying um, various moods and musical personality. The wonder of being alive. Remember, just 31 years. From happiness to hope to introspection to intimacy, tenderness, terror, rage, and desolation.